Let's be nice and careful as we go live. You're live, pal. Let me see. Still feel like I'm awkwardly off center. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the world's #1 sports and recreation podcast, Cheap Heat, is back. Tuesday, April 22nd. Why, SGG, why are you wearing?
Because we're #1 and he's #1 and the Eagles are #1. This is the #1 weekend in wrestling. So it just felt like a lot of synergy with that.
You're going full Eagles jersey as a New Yorker. You moved on.
I told you I'm out. As when they won the Super Bowl, I'm super out. But then, I might be back.
Russell Wilson, were you Giants before?
I was Giants before.
You can't. There's no. I'm speaking.
I might be back. No. You mind your business. You worry about the Commanders. All right. You don't worry about what's happening north of this Mason-Dixon line. All right.
There's no such thing as back. If you have now put on an Eagles jersey, there is. No one will accept you back. It is over.
That's fine with me.
You have anyone in your family who's seen this?
I have people who've seen it, yeah.
And what did they have to say? What did your family say about this?
I don't think we could. YouTube has strict rules about language and community guidelines and let's just say, look, I heard slurs that haven't been said since the Lincoln era. The Lincoln administration.
From your own family.
From my own family.
I'm glad you have a family that keeps it real. Because I'm sickened by it right now, but it's okay. And by the way, but the funny thing is, I'm just still trying to understand when you said we're #1.
Yeah. The #1 sports and recreation podcast.
Right. And then
#1.
Right. The Jalen Hurts #1.
Yeah. Super Bowl champions. Make them #1.
The Eagles are #1. Okay. And then
this was the #1
weekend. Oh, okay.
Weekend,
#1 weekend
in wrestling for sports entertainment fans and pro wrestling fans alike.
That's okay. Now it's making. Now that I understand it, it's making some bit of sense. Welcome everybody to the program. Very happy to have you here. If you're watching on YouTube, let me see. I wonder if I made the Twitter thing work properly. Emilio had asked me to try it on Twitter. Did it work?
Let's see. Let's find out.
I don't know if it did. I'm not sure if I actually put it on Twitter. I tried. It looked like I did it right, but I don't know if I did. Anyways, welcome aboard, everyone. I don't think I did. I don't think it's on Twitter. Sorry. Probably for the best, by the way. That Twitter is the most likely place for people who just hate me to be waiting for a moment. Now, look who's here. Before I bring you in, Dip, we're live. Is your mic connected? Is everything set up? Is your coffee made?
It got to the room, so I feel confident.
Let's bring him in. Oh yeah, look at that. Hi, Dip. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Great. How you doing?
Fine, thanks.
You moved on from you're no longer Oasis. Oasis is dead.
Yeah.
Which I'm very happy about. That Oasis is.
It was quick. It was a quick turnaround.
It was a very quick turnaround. Welcome to the world's #1 sports and recreation podcast, guys. I'm your forever 24/7 champion, Peter Rosenberg, coming to you from New York, in Philadelphia, home of the Super Bowl champions, which is an interesting celebration here. We have StatGuy Greg, and coming to you.
Correction. That's Admiral SGG.
Oh, he's got his.
That's Admiral SGG.
Oh yeah, we are. You're officially.
To all of you, I don't know who's the commanding officer among the three of us, but to you, Admiral SGG.
Which is, I don't even know how to explain what happened, but we go to Nebraska, we're good. Okay.
Yes, completely good.
And with a new cut and a renewed license on life, he made it all the way back from Las Vegas. It's 37-35 Dip. Hey Dip, how are you?
I feel like I live in Las Vegas at this point.
Oh my Lord.
I feel like I live in Las Vegas.
I
was starting to get to know the security guards, and I knew everyone at that hotel.
I am so happy to be back. I listen, it was
shout out to Omaha.
It was good. We'll get obviously here to talk about WrestleMania, but in terms of the Vegas of it all, I've been honest about the fact that when they said it's coming down to Minneapolis or Las Vegas, I was on my knees next to my bed going, please send us to Minneapolis. Please don't make us go to Las Vegas for this week. And it was everything that I thought it would be. Like, difficult to do things. It's just a different kind of situation. You know what I mean? Oh my God. But I'm very excited for this. The last day that I was in my room, I had to do my radio show, Don Hahn and Rosenberg for ESPN New York. I had to do a couple hours before I left.
You can listen to the podcast if you don't get to catch it live. It's available wherever you get podcasts.
Wherever podcasts are available. Thank you, SGG. I appreciate you saying that. So Dip and I got a little breakfast in the morning, and then I went to my room. And when I got to my room, I had to start the show right away. And I realized I was quite parched. And I sucked it up. And I said, screw it. I'm going to grab the vitamin water or smart water that was just sitting on the dresser in the Aria.
Mini bar?
It's above the mini bar. It's the same mini bar, Jay, same thing.
Yeah.
And it's the large smart water, and I am allowing everyone here to guess.
That's how you know your WrestleMania bonus was lit this week, because you went to the mini bar and you grabbed the vitamin water, or the smart water. Did you say?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sorry, my thing randomly disconnected, so bear with me as I change that back. Yes, it was the large size smart water, SGG.
I would have died of thirst. Right. They would have found my body there before I reached to the mini bar.
The craziest thing about Las Vegas is nothing is on sale. Ever. There is nothing on sale. Everything is full price at the highest level. I could tell you Carbone, which I went to by myself last night and sat at the bar.
Was there a sale at Carbone?
No. There's no sale at Carbone. Okay. As I told Peter earlier, I took pictures with everybody in the entire place. I did videos of all the food. I ripped the Carbone sign off the entrance and stuck it in my luggage and left with it. Yep. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
You paid for it. Might as well take it.
But you know what they played right when Dip walked in? Okay, sorry. So I did it. I
flashbacks.
I said, screw it. I got the water. I'm taking guesses from everybody.
You said large size smart water. That was $15.
All right, Dip.
Not feet.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
Me?
Yeah, the price for the water.
$17 for the water. 22. I'm going to say 22. $22 for the water.
The answer, as I received my portfolio today from MGM Resorts, $26.
Oh my God.
That is psychotic.
Yeah. Psychotic. Absolutely insane. Oh my gosh. So anyways, here we are, everybody. I'm glad we did not do a post-Mania episode, and we're just doing this post-Mania and post-Raw, because as much as there is to talk about Mania, there's a lot more, I think, positive things to talk about from Raw. So it's almost hard to decide where to start. But I think I'm going to start with this. SGG's original positive take on John Cena's promos did not age well with what happened at WrestleMania, in my opinion. We let it play out, and it played into...
We didn't get the sound effect, but now I have to defend myself.
It was a dead end. It was a trombone.
Listen, I still enjoyed the promos. The promos did what they were supposed to do, which is sell the match to get me excited for the match. The match itself did not deliver, but the aspect of the promo that meant the most is what is a John Cena championship run going to look like, especially when he vowed to ruin wrestling. Off to a great start, by the way. I hated that match. So,
well, that's the thing.
He's marching towards that goal for sure. But yeah, that's ultimately what it's about, right? Did it play out just by WrestleMania result? I don't think so. I think it's still playing out, and we have to see what a John Cena championship run actually is going to look like.
Oh, dip.
Wow. Spindrift is repug.
Spindrift versus Waterloo.
Listen, whichever one's paying us, that's my team.
That's the one.
If you haven't tried this orange vanilla Waterloo yet, this is I'm literally drinking a cold creamsicle right now. It's delicious.
It's kind of overrated though. Orange vanilla.
Yeah, what's overrated?
I wasn't feeling it.
You didn't like the orange cream? You didn't like the orange vanilla Waterloo?
No. I usually go in for a good creamsicle, but the orange vanilla Waterloo disappointed.
Here, my breakfast, lunch, and dinner too. I'll show the pecker.
Oh, he's starving himself after eating like a pig all weekend.
The keto. This is the only thing I've eaten all day.
So
that's crazy, Dip.
So here's the thing. It's now been talked about a lot, right? By the time we're getting to this on Tuesday night, it's been talked about a lot.
Yeah.
The match was not good.
No.
The match was not good. Now I liked the idea of John Cena slowing it down. I was popping galore. Let me just be clear. Hold on. I want to be more specific. The match was great for me up until Travis Scott.
You heard Fiend, right?
Yeah. I thought the match had all the potential until this. It had the back-to-back double axe handles off the second rope. I was like, this is Mage, dude. He's like ground and pound, old school. He's going to do everything he can to get the crowd to boo him. Can you not, Dip? You got to hit mute. You can't have the crinkling of the rapper. What are you, a maniac?
What do you mean?
Hit mute on your mic. There's a thing that says mute.
I guarantee the people do not want to hear you
chewing and crinkling. I mean, listen, I've known
this is coming
for
from
eating.
you, so you already know.
I'm known for eating and drinking during a show. You can't crinkle, for Christ's sake. So I was all good with it. I'm like, okay, what's going to be the thing here? Where are we going? Straight to hell. First problem with that moment was not only did we hear this, we heard it for 1 minute and 45 seconds.
They restarted. Whatever loop they have for him had to restart because he thought he was the Undertaker.
1 minute and 45 seconds for Travis Scott to get to the ring. And I ask you this. Why on earth would Cody Rhodes be remotely scared of Travis Scott sauntering to the ring?
That was the issue. That's exactly right.
They could have released 6 golden retriever puppies and let them roam their way down the ramp. What on earth does Travis Scott bring that Cody Rhodes is going to go, this is going to... Now, okay, so you're saying you're going to get distracted because he wants the receipt. Is that what it is?
Because he doesn't understand wrestling and thinks that punching someone in the face is A-okay. That's what he'd be scared of.
Right. Yeah, exactly. He was scared of legit being punched in the face. So
that's what I was going to say, though. I don't think he was scared. I think, like you said, he wanted that receipt, right? Because that's what they did last year, right?
He's a moron.
Yeah, Seth comes down. Roman wants his revenge, and Roman takes his revenge to his own detriment, loses the title because of it. I think Cody made that same mistake, but it just did not play well. It played awful.
So you're saying he's not scared. You're saying he's so dumb that John Cena's sitting there laughing.
Yeah.
Just knowing this is gonna throw Cody. It's just all of it was, and then to not get The Rock and only get Travis Scott makes no sense. Can someone tell me, has anyone heard the Raw recap yet? I want to know how Sam doing it on an actual WWE program. I need to hear how Sam spun this. Because I gotta, what is the version of this in which, because I couldn't even hold back on the post show. On the post show, I was like, wait a second, Travis Scott, he weighs 165 pounds. Why? And the only thing I could say is, wow, well, John Cena succeeded. He's ruining wrestling. Because I don't understand why that would be the case. Now, since that, The Rock has been on Pat McAfee, as has everyone else who's ever lived in the last 96 hours. By the way, I can't believe the Pope's final interview. McAfee. Can you believe that? He did McAfee. He talked to JD Vance. He died. That was the order of things that happened. So then The Rock goes on with McAfee and comes up with some fakakta. Well, what was I, if you inject the final boss, what was I going to do?
Oh, be the final boss. Tell the rest of the story.
Well, let me ask you a question, Rock. What did you guys plan on it being when you originally showed up to do it? What? There was no plan?
So when Cena cut that first promo and he doesn't mention The Rock, right? One of my friends joked with me. He said, listen, they just didn't write that part of the story yet. They'll get to it. And it turns out that that's basically what happened. They didn't write that part of the story, and they were not going to get to it because
it never happened.
I guess The Rock didn't want to be back on the phone.
Do we all just feel the exact same about this part? I'm just assuming we do. Just like how The Rock could not be there makes no sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. I mean,
and I'm sorry to the people in the chat. I know y'all want us to fight and argue about this, but this is a unanimous decision. There's no other way to cut this.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he didn't show up is insane. I mean, it just is at the end of the day. There is not a single person. After all these manias and all these big shows, you always have the crowd waiting for something to happen at the end, and they all stay and stare, and they're all like waiting for the sound. There is not a single person in that arena on Sunday night that was not waiting for that music to hit. Every single person, all 60,000 people, were waiting for that music to hit. And when it didn't, everyone looked at each other. I was standing down there. I could tell you, everyone was like, "Oh my god! Like, where the nothing? He's not coming."
I thought it was him when I heard this, and it wasn't.
And Dip, can I add to that too? It's not just this year, with the exception of WrestleMania 40, where he was actually booked and advertised in the match. That has been the case every year since Dallas, where the main event ends on night 2, and people expect Rock's music to hit. And he's slathering himself in Papa Tui or drinking Terramana or doing God knows what at that hour. But he's not in the stadium and he doesn't come down. And people do leave disappointed.
I was standing with Shoemaker when Austin came out and did his thing. And the two of us are like, this better be a false flag. Like, they're giving you a double pop on Austin. Like, that's what we thought was. Or whatever, and then
are you guys still thought Austin was going to come out after he did the thing?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you two are insane.
We thought maybe it was
after his run-in with the barricade, they definitely were sending him back up.
Now, real quick, when in history has that happened? What you and Shoemaker were hoping for? When has there been a major moment where they trot the person out once? And then they come out again.
I don't know. I feel like there was a few manias ago where like someone's music hit twice. Like
did Austin in the KO situation?
It was. I would say
that was back-to-back nights.
Back-to-back nights, though. Yeah,
that was back-to-back nights, and one was completely silly, and one was a match that was announced.
Right.
No, the match wasn't announced. That's the other thing. It was just supposed to be a
it was
segment.
but it was known. The Kevin Owens thing was known. It was not announced. It was a done deal.
Once you were to put talk show segment in the main event and think people don't know their hands are going to get thrown.
So, yeah, I guess at this point, I'm almost a little bit past even talking about the disappointment of the main event.
Yeah, let's
we'll see what happens now. Obviously, we're going to get Randy Orton versus John Cena, babyface Randy Orton versus heel John Cena in Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis at Backlash. I guess that's I'm sure what it is.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's the match.
But I mean, nothing. What does that have to do with anything? I mean, I knew that we were eventually going to see Randy versus John again, and we should. Randy's on the roster. He should have a go around with all of his great rivals that he's still able to. So no doubt, amazing. But last thing I'll say is I think Andrew Goldstein in our chat had a really effective point about John Cena's heel run, and like how the idea of him being the one to kill wrestling is interesting, and there's stuff there. But ultimately, like with heels, you're still looking for what is like the it factor that makes you like, oh, I want to see it. Like they don't try to create heels that literally make you like not want to watch. That's not a goal.
Okay, I'm gonna say I'm just not the idea that Cena is going to come out to the same music in the same outfit and do the same gimmick, but be mean. I know there's an argument to be made that, like, you know, they're doing it differently. This is what he should be doing. I don't agree at all. I would like to see different music, different outfit, different set of everything. And that's that. Like, I don't, just the way Hogan turned heel and was wearing black and white and did the facial hair differently. You got to give it a different look. I'm sorry. I just, that's ultimately what's not connecting. If they did what they did last night or on, Mania Night 2, and they did, you know, all the other stuff they've been doing, but he looked and sounded differently, and the whole aesthetic was different, it would be working for me. But
and it's funny. So they said, you know, he included that. He's brought up, you know, no new look, no new music. You don't get that.
I don't get to enjoy it.
But like, no,
it's not. No. Yeah, but the point is for us to enjoy it. That is the point. Ultimately, is for us to enjoy it. And here's the realest thing I'll say on this. The one thing we always said, because they can keep saying he's the greatest of all time all they want. Everyone can say it. Rock can say it today. Everyone can say he's great. The fans ultimately decide who's the greatest of all time. And the fans have always said John Cena is so great, but oh God, what he needs to do to complete it is for us to finally see him as a bad guy. Oh my, and we also all said, oh my gosh, he's going to kill it when he does it. So far, and there's time left, I don't think people think that's actually played out, and that's shocking. It has not,
at least in the in-ring. He has not killed it in the in-ring. It's granted it's been one match, but it was
but not even in the ring in ring SGG. I just think when you review like what someone overall is as a bad guy, this nothingness is not enough for me. Like,
right.
It's not. I'm sorry. Him being like
lazy. It's kind of lazy.
It's like no, we got a great idea. Let's just give nothing. I hear maybe it could turn into something and we'll go, it's the ultimate let it play out of all time. But now we're what, 2 months in?
About that, yeah.
2 months in, I'm going to need this thing to turn up a notch at some point.
Because we don't got a lot of time left either. So we're like, December is right around the corner.
Yeah, like, watching those dates roll off yesterday was depressing. When he rolled off all those dates, I was like, damn, we're already in the 20s?
Even if he wore all black in the same outfit, but it was all black, maybe that would be even more interesting. But you can't come out in the exact same outfit if your whole attitude changes and you're a completely different character.
Yeah.
And the music is it's the most babyface music of all time. And I get it. It's like, I could see, it's like if someone was high and was like, hey man, but imagine you like flip it and like you keep that song, but like you're still bad, bro. Wouldn't that be crazy? But like in reality, it's like
Pat McAfee would have done
Pat
that.
McAfee did. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Are you referring to it's not puff puff? It's supposed to be puff puff pass, not puff 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 edible puff puff pass.
Right.
It's funny.
Oh, by the way, shocking development. Today people started leaking video from the roast. I know. In the most predictable, guaranteed thing. Because I'll say this, I love wrestling fans. Like I put them over a lot. I'm such a huge fan of like the wrestling fan community in general. There's two things that are bad about them though, for sure. One, someone wants to leak information always. There's because it's rewarded. Getting leaked stuff is rewarded in this world. Yeah. So that's number one. And number two is the deciding now to boo Cody is exact. I will say that's the one thing I agreed with Cena on. They did prove why the point his character is trying to make in their turning on Cody. The difference between Cody and Cena, though, when people were saying, let's go Cena, Cena sucks, see, that was like organic. Half the crowd really hated Cena at that time. I truly believe the quote hatred of Cody now was like a WrestleMania time smart fan, let's just do it thing.
Dom too.
Yeah, exactly. And Dom becoming babyface. It was just smart fans doing smart fan stuff. Cody's character really, like, to me, wasn't at the point where fans were organically booing him. It's not there yet.
I think you didn't see him last night?
Well, no, now I do. Now it's happened.
I know, and I think it's going to continue.
But SGG, you know what I'm saying, though? It wasn't like it started trickling in and the character was so stale. Like, the John Cena thing happening came after so much Super Cena. Like, so much Super Cena.
I'll actually have to push back on that a little bit, right? So, Cena, when he first won the title, it felt like the Super Cena thing lasted a long time, right? He won it at 21. By January of the next year, people were fed up. They were like, we've seen enough. He loses it to Edge, gets it back in February, and then we're off to the races with the Super Cena stuff. But people had turned on him within a year. It was like 10 months they turned on Cena. Cody got a little bit longer than that, but the turn on Cody happened right on time, and I think they should have let him hot potato that title with KO a little bit earlier to try to freshen up his character, keep it stale and all that. But that turn of the crowd turning on Cody, it happened right at the same time as it happened with Cena. Ironically, in favor of Cena this time, but the timetable for it happening is dead on. Cody actually got 2 more months out of it.
But Cody, to me, as someone who lived through both, I'm not saying Cody's run hasn't had stale moments.
Well, I don't think it has, though. That's the funny thing, because like his story with AJ, where he almost murdered AJ to show that he could go there, and he's just not like some super good guy that you could take advantage of. And his story with KO, where like they were reluctant to hurt each other, and they got to the point where they tried to murder each other. That was just this January, where it ended up flowing into his story with Cena, where he had to like counteract all the evil and be the good in wrestling. I think he was evolving, but fans who chalk it up to just like wins and losses, and this guy is never going to lose, and LOL, Cody wins now, they turned on him. And
I don't know.
Right on time.
I just think there was something more, in my opinion. Maybe I'm not doing a good job putting a finger on it. There was something more contrived about it to me. It was just like, you know what? You know, maybe you know what it was. Maybe it's the fact that the Cena thing wasn't dope, and they were still turning on Cody. And Cody had moments in which he completely rocked Cena in the promo. The last couple of Cody promos, he was legitimately really good. Like, really, really bringing it. And
Cody ending the promos with Cena's catchphrases every time was brilliant.
I loved it. I found it super annoying that everyone just decided we're going to just boo him. Now it's time. Especially when he's like, he's not Cena. He wasn't machine made in the same way. He wasn't like Vince's creation that is going to, you know.
I don't even want to know.
And if she's literally just opening up boxes and ripping out construction paper from the boxes.
Could be bubble wrap.
Natalie, I get a paper towel, and my scoffing at you, I knocked over the seltzer. Thanks.
We're not going to get that Spindrift deal.
I wasn't feeling it. Was not feeling the fans and doing it. And even the Dominic thing, like, of course it was dope and it made it really fun, and it's not surprising. But like, I can't imagine. It clearly wasn't what anyone was going for in that moment. Thank you.
I mean, he did run back to the ring for that big babyface pop.
He pinned Finn, right? Like, I know it's hard to turn a heel babyface in that way of just like, you know, I'm gonna go against another heel, but like, he stopped double teaming Braun and Penta and targeted his own faction mate to get that win.
Well, but his faction mate was on top of someone else when he hit him with the splash. I mean, it wasn't really. He didn't go punch. He didn't turn on him with punches. You know,
he tried to hit him with a 619. He attacked him from behind and they tried to hit him with a 619.
But the him coming back down to the ring to celebrate was definitely impromptu. That was not like, I don't think anyone anticipated anything like that was going to happen. And he went the second he showed up to the post show, he was healing off, and he was last night. And Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, clearly they understand now how loved the guy is. But that being said, I thought overall the wrestling this weekend was really fantastic. I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah.
What did you guys enjoy more, the main event Saturday or the women's match Sunday?
The women's match Sunday for me, believe it or not. And the main event Saturday was great.
I have to go back and watch the women's match because I was up in a box for that match. I watched it on the TV in the box, but I and on the screen, but I didn't really like.
You were schmoozing and schmying, weren't you?
I was schmoozing and schmying.
Yeah, I know.
And eating crap. Schmoozing, schmying, and eating crap.
Yeah.
This was the crap. This was crap eating mania for me.
Crap. Yeah. Not even wrestling. Wrestling was secondary to the crap eating.
I'm dunking in cheese and oh my God, the charcuterie everywhere. It was disgusting.
Can you imagine?
Sounds incredible.
I'm grabbing bags of chips at the cater at the World.
How much charcuterie do you think was thrown away this weekend?
Oh my God.
Dip and I were really disgusted at the buffet, at the Wynn buffet, thinking about how much stuff must get thrown away from Vegas buffets.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, that buffet was very disappointing.
I mean, here's the deal. Here's it. You go to the buffet for the crab legs. Okay. I need crab legs at a buffet. I go to the guy. I said,
what is it with you and the crabs and the shellfish? Yeah. I mean, you are the worst Jew who's ever lived. I mean,
get out of here.
Crab legs and lobsters, all you think about. I got news for you. If there was like a Jewish boat and they're deciding who to save, you're on the first, and they're like, all right, well, we got limited space. You're in the first group over.
I'm in the first group. I'm taking all the lobster and crab with me.
Well, you don't have to. You're getting thrown into the water.
To take.
Good. I'm gonna dive down into the water and gather all the crab and lobster that I can.
That's what they'll say to you. They'll be like, listen, you know what? Enjoy the crab legs. You're going over. But yeah, I just, you're right, I guess. But like, to me, it's a bad sign for a buffet if you at no point go, oh, I got to go back and get more of this. If you don't have one thing that makes you say, I want a little bit more, I think that's a bad job out of the buffet.
But look,
or is it a good job because you have so much more to sample? Like you've been sampling so much.
No. Is there anything that you love though? I had a piece of that brisket. I thought it was quite nice. I said, hey, can I get a lean piece? Completely ignored me. Cut the piece, put it on the plate. I mean, zero. Zero
consideration.
Consideration for where they're cutting the brisket. None. I hate that. I hate when they're cutting a carving station and you just see the fat coming off of it and it gets slopped on your plate. Ugh.
I know you got to respect the person who's in front of you at that moment,
right?
I think so. Oh, here we go. Important note by Skip to my lumpia. Buffet talk officially starts 9:58 Eastern time.
Was that a slight to us? Like you don't want the buffet talk, Mr. Lumpy?
I think they had a bet. They might have had a bet going.
I don't get so sensitive. I think it's about them speculating on when we would get to the buffet talk.
Although
I do start with the buffet talk.
I do love to just see a giant thing of like sushi. I don't know who's rolling this sushi. God knows it's probably in the fridge for a few days before it comes out on that thing. But it's nice to see a big sushi gimmick, a giant sushi gimmick at a buffet. It's nice.
I get it. It certainly looks nice. And your boy Alan, great guy, asked how much was a tuna sandwich. I don't know if Dip got a tuna sandwich. I actually bought a tuna sandwich at the Aria.
There was no tuna at the buffet. None.
At the Aria, though, I got a tuna sandwich. I think it was $15.
The water was more expensive than the tuna sandwich.
The water was the most expensive. Hold on. Real quick. If you break it down, the water was my biggest purchase besides dinner at Javier's. And the best thing about my dinner at Javier's is I went there to get the guacamole because out of nowhere, Joe Tess and I are talking about the hotel, and he goes, Peter, the guacamole at Javier's is something you have to try. It's the texture is like chocolate mousse, but it's guacamole. You have to try it. And I went, wow, Joe Tessitore, sounding like he's calling the Super Bowl, is breaking down the texture of the guac at Javier's. So me and Sam Roberts went to Javier's, and I said, Sam, you want some guacamole? He said, absolutely not. I will not.
Yeah, why would you even ask Sam that question?
Why can't Sam eat guacamole?
He's a child. He eats like a child. He's a great guy. He's like a child.
I had dinner with that's true about Crab Rangoons. I had dinner with Sam last night at after Carbone. I met Sam at the bar, and he was hungry, so we went to Javier's.
And he got tacos again?
Yeah, he ate tacos.
Yeah, exactly.
He had tacos again. So I had I had it myself. The guacamole, it's $20 guacamole. So the water was more expensive than the guac. It was more expensive than every cab ride. Oh, a delicious spicy margarita at Javier's in the Aria was 23. The smart water was 26. These people, I mean, it makes you want to go full-blown Mangione. It's insane. That is insane.
That's extortion. That's extortion. It really is.
Because you know when you're getting that water, you're going, damn it, I just need water. I'm not going to drink this Vegas tap water. It's wrong. My match of the weekend also was the women. I thought it was absolutely flawless. I think the men's main on Saturday was awesome. You know, even with us knowing exactly what the Heyman Seth, we all speculated that would be what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't matter. The match was just so damn good. But I just think in terms of the actual in-ring of it all, there was nothing better than Io, Rhea, and Bianca.
And that finishing sequence too was just perfection to me.
It was so good. Also, Bianca and Roman Reigns, winners of the hot bod contest for the weekend. Roman and Bianca both I think each of them were in the best shape they've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are for Mania, but
I mean ever though.
Even better. Like if you look at even just Roman's physique, we'll just
Roman's never been like that.
No.
You see how quick Roman was to take his shirt off last night?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, let me get this thing off immediately. I thought it was fantastic. I'm trying to think of any of these smaller things. Love the New Day winning the titles.
I was shocked that it was just a straightforward win, though. I speculated that because they made it to Mania, that there had to be something, right? There had to be like a trick up the sleeve, but it was just a straightforward history making, I think 13th championship win, tag team championship win, but it was very straightforward.
What do we think about Joe Hendry?
I enjoyed it. I can't.
Is he going to make it?
The biggest shock to me is that people that big of a WWE audience knows him well. To me, is crazy.
Yeah. By the way, last night, and I know it's the Raw after WrestleMania,
mm-hmm.
and I know that it's all smart marks there and everything, but I mean, Stephanie Vicaire, people were going nuts, like La Primera chants instantly. Mr. Acosta, don't you know that there's no spoilers on this show?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, we need to get back to that, though, because to answer your question, Pete, I feel like Randy Orton being left off the show would have been better than him working Joe Hendry at WrestleMania.
Oh, stop.
Why do you feel
I hated Joe Hendry in that spot. And I think how you said, like you said, the hate of of Cody is this online manufactured people just deciding that they want to hate him. I think that's what's happening with Joe Hendry on the other side, that it's not real manufactured. We like this guy. He's a meme in a song. I'm not entertained by him in ring. I don't even think the song is that fun or great. Sure, people liked him. Wow. They popped for him. But everything that people have said about main event Jey Uso, who is a top tier talent, he is entertaining. He is very deserving of the spot. Everything they have said about Jey Uso applies completely to Joe Hendry, but the song is fun, so people give it a pass.
Have you really watched that much Joe? Have you watched a lot of Joe Hendry?
I've watched more Joe Hendry than I care to admit, and also at this point more than I have cared to see. And I was over it when they could have sent down anybody else. They could have sent Dip down, and I would have been more happy with who responded to the open challenge than TNA World Champion Joe Hendry, who unfortunately I'm going to see more of because he was on NXT tonight and TNA and NXT have a partnership, and he's probably going to get signed and pushed, and it's going to be a whole thing. But I'm over it.
Greg, if I came down to the ring, if I was the mystery person wrestling Randy Orton, you telling me you wouldn't have popped?
Yeah, I think that would have been the pop of the week. I think it would have been the pop of the weekend.
I would have popped more if it was you than Joe Hendry.
I think you would have popped more for that than anything else that could have happened the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
I think Roman Reigns could have come out and proposed to you, and it would have been on the same level as Dip answering the open challenge.
No, after this weekend, I would have had to turn Roman down. So Dip answering the open challenge would have been better.
How could you hate Joe Hendry? How could you hate Joe Hendry?
Well, I could see. Listen. I haven't watched him at all. Really, I thought the moment worked. So SGG's at least.
I'm glad
wrong.
They kept it short.
SGG at least has to hold the L on the fact that the moment worked. People were happy about it. You need to fill a spot. You're not going to give it a lot of time because there's no story. So what are you going to do that'll pop the crowd and you can get it done? Listen, I personally would have been way more excited for like another random legend or someone from another company I was more familiar with for sure. I actually would have been more excited for Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
That would have gotten a bigger pop. Big time.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't know if that's true.
Yes, I absolutely think so.
Even though I'm not a fan of Joe Hendry, I think there's much more excitement around Joe Hendry. I don't think Nick Aldis has.
Here's why I think Nick Aldis would have got a bigger pop. When Randy Orton, when Nick Aldis told Randy Orton, "You're not going to have a match," and he said, "I don't care who it is," and he's rattling off these different scenarios, and he said, "Hell, you can take off the suit and you can fight me at WrestleMania." The crowd went crazy. Just for the idea of Nick Aldis doing what Randy Orton suggested, taking off the suit for one night only, coming down and facing me at WrestleMania. I think they would have popped for it.
No, it's true that he couldn't lose, so it had to have been someone that he had to have beat. And the idea of having Rusev out there as someone to lose to they didn't want Rusev to lose to Randy Orton coming back, so it wasn't going to be Rusev. It was going to be someone that he RKO'd.
These people, listen, sorry to cut you off, Dip. I'm reading these comments as they come on the screen. My 10-year anniversary on Cheap Heat is coming up. These sheeple got to know by now that these comments don't mean anything to me. Hendry sucks. None of these comments are going to change my mind. The criticism and the hate that you direct at main event Jey Uso, our new world champion.
Carlos is right about this.
All belongs to Joe Hendry.
I fully agree with this with Carlos. No one would have recognized anything about Nick Aldis. There's no music. There's no thing like the Hendry thing is whether we. I
thought it was going to be Aleister Black. I assume Aleister Black will be back on Monday or back on Friday.
Well, of course, because every surprise has been revealed in advance. Because
I think they showed the date that he would be coming back on, like in a vignette. Now,
were any surprises yesterday not already told us?
One surprise was telegraphed, but boy, was it a huge surprise, and I don't think anybody guessed it, right? Because when when Paul Heyman was on Pat McAfee, he made an offhanded comment about, we'll buy some muscle. If Seth's not around, Roman wasn't around to protect me, Punk wasn't always around to protect me. If Seth's not around, I'll just buy some muscle. That's what Heyman said, and I'm paraphrasing. And damn it, if Braun Breaker isn't just the definition of muscle. He talked about Roman Reigns getting his shirt off fast yesterday. Braun Breaker took the hoodie off in one fell swoop in the most unhinged way imaginable. And Mr. Breaker, I mean that as a compliment. Don't come after me. And he just torpedoed Roman, joined up with Seth and Heyman, and nobody saw it coming.
It's fantastic. It's funny, if you'd paid attention recently over the last couple of years, Heyman has clearly showed his affection for Braun Breaker at different times.
He went down to manage him at NXT.
Yeah, in interviews, and they had that moment. So there's been, but it is perfect. It is absolutely perfect. Are you affected by this, SGG? Chris says Hendry went on Busted Open today and said that Cena came up to him and also said he did great and will be a major player in WWE.
Oh, because Cena's been right about everything so far.
Just like Travis Scott. He said you and Travis Scott.
Exactly. Really... Okay. if we're co-signing all the Cena's takes, you can go right ahead and do that. But I think we can't trust him after this weekend with the whole Travis Scott debacle.
Where do we go right now, SGG? So are we just getting Dip? Do you want to do your Instagram scrolling later, or
no? I'm looking.
He said no.
No, excuse me.
There's
certain things that need immediate attention.
There's still what was that needed immediate attention? The video.
It better be freaking.
I can't tell you right now.
Can you hit mute first though before you watch it, or
what? There's no sound.
We all heard it. We all heard
sound.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it with my AirPods.
It went through your own microphone. You heard it. You just didn't know it had sound.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to Roman and Seth first.
No, I think Punk and Seth.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Punk and Seth. They're gonna go back to that, and Roman's gonna get Braun. Just because based on last night, it was Braun. Braun put the pause on Roman more than Seth. I don't even think Seth. Maybe Seth stomped Roman. I'm not sure, but Punk ate 3 stomps. Punk. Yeah, Punk.
Roman got a stomp too.
Roman got a stomp too, but he did get 2 spears, one through the barricade, one in the ring that just nearly put him on life support. So I think Braun's going to go after Roman first.
So and then we'll have Heyman managing both, and like he'll have multiple matches in a night. You think where it's like, Braun versus Roman and Punk versus Seth, and Heyman's out with both.
I think it's going to be tough to have CM Punk and Braun Breaker in the ring together. I think that's going to be a tough match for CM Punk.
You mean like it's just not believable?
What's that?
It's not believable, borderline.
It's not believable, but it's also Braun moves so quickly and is feels real. I don't know. It just feels like a rough. It feels like a rough night for CM Punk.
I will say this.
Are you talking shoot or kayfabe? I'm confused.
I don't know.
Shoot.
You're saying like he wouldn't be able to physically work with him well.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll say this to push back on that a little bit on both points. Believability. Punk had a great match at SummerSlam with Brock Lesnar. We were worried about the believability with that, and that ended up being one of Brock's better matches in WWE. And with respect to Braun specifically, when Punk came back, I can't remember if it was right when he came back after that Survivor Series or like while he was working through his injury. But there's footage of him training with Braun, so they at least are familiar with each other and they've been around each other. So I think their chemistry might surprise us if we get to see it under the bright lights of a Raw or a PLE or even like a WrestleMania. But I think Punk and Braun might work well together because it's potentially they have.
This is very important. On my flight last night, I got on the plane and the captain comes over and says, "Hey, we just received word there's traffic on the runway in Newark, so we're not going to be taxiing for about 2 hours."
Oh my God.
This is before a Vegas to New York flight, which is already 4.5 hours, something like that, 4:20. Started having a conversation with the gentleman next to me, and he was in Vegas for a furry convention.
Oh boy.
We got a whole furry talk.
You had a furry talk.
We had a whole furry talk, and at the end of the day, when all was said and done, he gave me a card and an envelope that invited me to join the furry community. What are your thoughts?
Well, the good news for you, I've seen you with your shirt off. You don't need a costume, so you don't have to worry about
that
was such a friggin' ridiculous layup. Was it alley?
I think you should try it.
Why not? Right?
Well, who cares? We have nothing to lose.
Bring Natalie and join furries.
Don't bring, whatever it is.
You want me to have a secret life as a furry?
Oh, yes, it's insane.
A secret.
What? By the way, if I were to go furry, what animal am I like? What cartoon animal am I going for here?
Does it have to be an animal, or could it be like a masked singer type of deal where you can dress up as anything?
That's a great question. I would think it's anything. I think it's furry costume. I don't think it means it has to be. But I feel like you know what I do? Throwback. I bring it way back. How about Harry from Harry and the Hendersons?
That was a good show that ran like 2 seasons.
What? Oh, it was a TV show too. I forgot
they had a TV show. Yeah, the 80s was a wild time. You remember Small Wonder?
Of course,
Vicky.
I remember Small Wonder. What am I, animal? Yeah, of course.
I'm loving this furry thing for you.
This is a great comment by
we could get it.
Streamin' Joel. Joel wrote, "That's a crazy way of honoring Rocky, but I support you."
There it is. That your costume decided.
Matto says Peter should be a rodent furry. Peter Rosenberg. That's no. Come on. Oh, now I wonder if there would be other Alfs. If you go Alf, would there be other?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Alf, I feel like is
people, man. The furry community.
If you could get it sponsored, though, you can go as a road mic, the white mic. Get it sponsored.
You know what? It's funny. If they let me tell you, I'll tell you one thing. If they ever combine WrestleMania weekend with the furry convention, you better believe every furry is gonna have a brand on it.
I thought they did. I saw a dude wipe walking around. A dude wipe.
I saw a dude wipe walking around.
Oh, there was dude wipe walking around.
And I got to say this too with the sponsors.
Alan with the great point, by the way.
Oh yeah,
gobbledygooker.
That's the one.
Your point on the sponsors, SGG.
Listen, I remember way back when you would go to a PLE or WrestleMania and they say, "Oh, sponsored by Snickers," and then you're leaving the event and they're giving out Snickers. C4, they're giving out C4. If Wingstop is gonna sponsor, I need them to step up and start giving out some chicken because they cannot. Like, what is this? I don't want to just see your logo. I want the product. Snickers stepped up and gave Snickers. I got a Minute Maid on the way out. I need some wings. Yeah, I did.
What kind of Minute Maid?
It was like a lemonade, like in a can. Just a standard Minute Maid.
This year you did?
Yeah, this year I did. I almost threw it at you when you would turn around to the stage, but I didn't want to get escorted out by security and banned from future WrestleMania.
I heard from multiple people who came by to say hello to me during the post show and didn't realize that I have to sit there for like 6 hours. So they started waiting, and then they're like, "Oh, here we go," and then like waiting, and then time passes. Like,
it was a break, so I was like, "Oh, maybe during the break he'll turn around and say hi to the people."
The problem is, whenever I turn around, that crowd is so like, as Big E put it, insatiable. That like the second you turn around, they want you to start doing stuff. Yeet, take picture, you have to, so I can't turn around to look for anybody.
I would have insisted on a picture
or a yeet.
Or a yeet. I'd take it a yeet.
Let me ask you a question. You guys use dude wipes?
No.
I use baby wipes though. I use baby wipes.
I don't need. You do?
Mm-hmm. It just makes sense.
I gotta tell you, and if
there's no bidet available, I'll go baby wipe.
Right? You know me. I'm not cheap. Okay. You think I'm cheap?
It depends on what we're talking about.
I think okay. Maybe not.
Okay. I go in. I have many friends that use dude wipes in their homes. Okay. I go to buy. Go ahead. I go to buy dude wipes. I'm in the supermarket. I see them. Do you know how much dude wipes are? One package.
$26.
They're like $15.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sold on dude wipes as a brand.
For how many?
I don't know 20, how many are in there. 30? I mean, by the way, I'm a clumping. I'm a clumper. So what am I going to do? I'm going to wipe with 6-7 wipes at a time?
No, you can't.
You can't wipe with one wipe at a time.
No, that's what you do.
That's insane. That's insane.
Hold on.
If you're wiping with one wipe, wipe.
Are you aware? Hold on. Are you aware of how you use the dude wipe?
What does that mean?
You use it at the end. I don't think you're using it for every single wipe. You're using toilet paper, and then at the end, you're using the dude wipe to clean it all up and make sure you're good to go.
Is that right?
You're not wiping and wiping.
You're not wiping and wiping.
You're not wiping and wiping. You're using
the first wipe is not for the dude wipe.
No, that's a mess. It's the last wipe.
It's the final wipe.
Maybe you go back again with another dry after the dude wipe. So it's like a sandwich.
Yes.
Dry, wet, dry.
If I'm at someone else's house and they have the wipes,
you're using all of them?
I'm clumping the wipes.
Oh, by the way, I got news for you. You're also clogging their pipes and ruining their house.
I'm clumping the wipes and clogging the pipes.
Yeah, that's not what you're supposed to do. For sure. It's the last, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But I just, can I tell you what? I just don't like the name. Respectfully, I don't like the name Dude Wipes.
Yes.
Well, it goes well with it's the perfect thing to sponsor You know, it goes perfectly with Pat McAfee.
Yeah, it goes with Pat McAfee. It goes with UFC. This is the one thing that works on everything. Although I do want to say something right now. It does tickle me that every sort of celebrity that they showed on the screen with any sort of non-progressive thoughts that are known in any way got booed out of the building.
Yeah.
Like, people have to start recognizing how progressive the active wrestling fan base is. Like, anyone they showed, Colby Covington, boo. Tony Hinchcliffe, boo. Dana White, boo. Like, you put them up, you're getting booed. Then if you put up, though, Metro Boomin, cheers. You put up Lil Yachty, cheers.
Yeah,
it was quite satisfying.
I think that's a tricky balance for TKO to have to make, because they own WWE and UFC, and you would think that like there's going to be some synergy there. And there are some people who like both, but the audiences, especially after WrestleMania, it proved that the audiences are very different, and they're going to need different things.
I've been thinking that for so long, and like the injection of people from the manosphere who they've been using. Like, I'm not saying there's no one who likes those people, but I don't think it's has the effect people think. I think the loud vocal wrestling audience is very progressive and does not have a lot of use for those people.
Yeah.
It's my personal opinion.
Dude whips.
Dip's getting scared. He wants me to change the subject. As if people don't know this thing if they dig into me for 8 seconds. Like, what is Peter Rosenberg all about? Let's see. Is there anything we didn't hit from this weekend? I got yelled at by Karrion Kross, but then he cut a mage promo on Sam and Megan's podcast.
At least he spoke to you. Heyman didn't talk to you at all.
No, that was just outright rude. Oh, I presented Triple H with a statue of himself. That was wild.
Oh yeah,
I thought the statue was beautiful. Honestly,
yeah,
it came out good. I thought
the statue was better than the render that they had been using to advertise him going into the Hall of Fame this whole time.
Here's my prediction on Karrion Kross. He's over like Rover in the next month. Beyond. First of all, he got a huge pop in the crowd at Raw last night.
Wait, they showed him, or what did they?
He did like a backstage thing with somebody, and he got a massive pop when he appeared on screen. Massive.
He got a pop at Mania too when he popped out and took the brass knucks and begged AJ to use it. Didn't happen, but people enjoyed it.
A lot of people. Yeah. Do you think they'll change him back to Killer Kross and get a moment?
Well, yeah. I mean, if they change War Raiders back to War, they can change. I mean, Karrion is what, honestly, Karrion killed him. It's Killer Kross, dude.
I know. Killer Kross is so much more made.
They can't put it all together.
This is a fun thought from Alec Grande.
I like it.
For Money in the Bank.
I like this a lot, Alec Galande.
He said Grande.
What do you think about this, SGG? Meadow suggests Hulk Hogan to be Roman's new wise man.
Listen, anything can happen in the world.
Roman Reigns, presented by Real American Beer.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Karrion Kross will be he's getting the push that he's going to get over. I love it.
And by the way, if it happens, we'll say it started with his promo that he cut on me on the Hall of Fame red carpet.
Yeah, we'll take the credit for that. I disagree with this take, by the way.
Adam Singer says the worst match of the weekend was Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton. What do you think it was, SGG?
The worst, of course, Joe Hendry versus Randy Orton. No, I feel like for the expectations and then where it landed, the main event of Sunday night was the worst match of the weekend. Charlotte and Tiffany, I didn't enjoy it. I'll say it was the worst match of Saturday for sure, but not by much. And when you look at those before and after pictures of Tiffany holding up that title when she first gets into the ring, and then when the bells rung and she's declared the victor, they went to war, and you just got to appreciate that at some point. In the moment, I wasn't feeling it. I felt like it dragged on too long, and that's easy for me to say from sitting in the audience. But you have to appreciate the fact that they just went to war, and Tiffany's face showed it. It showed on Charlotte's face. And maybe I'll get a different feel for the match when I actually watch it back versus being in the ring, being in the stadium. But you have to appreciate the fact that they just went at each other for 20 minutes or whatever it was. Yeah,
I get it. It wasn't pretty. And I know it wasn't everyone's favorite, but I do agree. To me, it did have things that were appealing about it. I wouldn't.
It wasn't as bad as everyone's saying.
Yeah, no, it was clunky at times, but I don't think it was a bad match by any means. All right, guys, we appreciate you, especially our patrons. Patreon.com/staymage.
Shirts on the way.
Shirts on the way. I wonder if he stopped taking the orders or not. I told him to stop through WrestleMania. I don't know if he actually did.
And shout out to everybody who came to the heat and greet, by the way.
Yeah, man, we met some really, really great people at the heat and greet. It was a really good time. If you were not there, I'm told now that we know Money in the Bank is coming to Los Angeles, and Survivor Series is San Diego. That got announced too.
Yeah,
did it? I didn't.
When did that get announced? How did I miss that?
It got announced at
Raw.
Yeah.
So big West Coast run here. But I think there'll be wrestling for sale, heat and greet things coming up, and a couple more things on the West Coast. So that'll be fun. We appreciate you guys. If you're watching on YouTube and don't subscribe to the podcast, please go subscribe to Cheap Heat the podcast, or head over to patreon.com/staymage.
And don't leave this page without subscribing to Rosenberg Wrestling either.
That's a great point.
Gotta do that. You're here already.
You're already here. Hit subscribe right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Thanks for joining us. And don't forget also tomorrow night, 8:00. If you've been sleeping, and I feel a lot of people have, that Evolve on Tubi is a great watch.
Mm-hmm. And he's not just saying that because it gets you more Rosenberg. It actually is a
damn fun show. And by the way, shout out to SGG and Dipperstein and Zach, the 3 people in our group chat who actually watch Evolve. By the way, how obvious is it that Shoemaker and Andrew Goldstein have never once pressed play? Not even curious. Not even their friend of what, 8 to 7. In the case of Goldstein,
over 10. You've been my friend for 10 years, so it's over.
Shoemaker's like 12. Goldstein's like close to 20. You don't want to hit. It's free. It's on every TV that exists.
You don't even need to sign in. You don't even need to sign in. They're gonna try to get you to sign in.
You don't have to
skip that.
They never hit play. Let's hear what Rosenberg sounds like doing. They don't want to swipe right one time. All right, guys.
I hear from people all the time that you're doing a great job too, by the way.
Oh, really? I appreciate that. Honestly, I really do. Appreciate you. All right, you guys are great guys. Stay mage.
Stay mage.
The Admiral salutes you.
Oh, brush your teeth while watching Evolve. Brush your teeth.
Oh, it's a great toothbrushing watch show.